Hello and welcome to yet another show of All About Code, the show for Xbase++, Clipper and Visual Fox Pro developers and users. My name is Frank. I have my cup of coffee for today and I would like to have a show showing you what an Xbase++ application starts before a main procedure will be called. So the Xbase++ runtime implicitly loads or does many things for you which you can influence. So I will show you even the smallest hello world does a lot of things for you. How to influence it, what it does, I will show you within this video. So have a look on my desktop. I would like to create a new project. I take the Windows target. It should be not too much, so I take console application. I call the project start up. The project will be generated. So it is quite empty. I will do my hello world. That's it. I will debug it. I press the F8 button and you see the first line where the debugger stops is in my procedure main. So I have the hello world output. So that's it. But I tell you that when it comes to the hello world, that Xbase++ already has run a few things for you. To check this, for example, I could check what DBEs are loaded. DBE, database engines. DBE. There is a function called DBE list. Let's show what's the output. So, as you see, a few DBEs are already loaded. But where are those DBEs loaded? Where does the loading come from? So this is what Xbase++ does upfront for you. It calls a few init procedures. The magic word is init procedure for you. Okay, so let's see in the documentation about init procedure. Init procedure. Let's see what we get. Okay, all init procedures which you declare are run before the main procedure will be called. But there are three init procedures which are called implicitly. So you do not have to run them explicitly. So the Xbase++ runtime, when it starts an Xbase++ application, will run those three init procedures for you. This is what is in this short note. There are three implicit init procedures which you do not have to start. And those three are errorsys, I will show you, appsys, I will show you, and dbesys, I will also show you where those three init procedures come from. Because Xbase++, as soon you install it on your hard drive, will also copy the PRGs of those three init procedures on your hard drive. You will find them under Documents, Xbase++, Source, Runtime, Sys. There we have appsys PRG, we have dbesys PRG and errorsys PRG. So I will copy them to my project. Projects, startup, copy. The important thing, please copy them. Do not change the PRGs in the sys directory, because the next update which you install will destroy your modifications, because the new PRGs will be copied into this directory. So if there is a need that you change those PRGs, please use a copy of them and copy them to your project. Okay, So I have to add them to my project, of course. Right mouse click, add existing files. I will add those 3 PRGs. A very important bit is that you have to change your environment. Please go to Tools, Debugger Options. This is a check mark which is evident for you that you can see that those PRGs or those init procedures can be debugged. So make sure that this check mark is checked. I will rebuild the entire project and I press F8 to run the project in the debugger. Okay, you see, you never called errorsys. The runtime calls errorsys. This is the right place where the error handler is set up. So if you want to change the error handling for your application, this is the right spot. I press F8. So you see the next init procedure, which is called implicitly, is appsys. I step through it. By the way, this is the spot where the small text mode window will be generated. Next is debug. And now you see where the loading of the DBEs, which we have seen prior to the change, are loaded and built. So now you know where those lines come from. They come from the loading of the DBEs, which has been called implicitly. You never need to call DBEs. Please do not call it. Okay. Our hello world is not very spectacular, so why not loading DBEs? So maybe I have a small utility which I write which does not need any DBEs, no database engines. So what should I do for this? I would clean up the debug PRG, so it is empty now. I rebuild my project. I step through it. appsys. Now I am debug. This is now empty. And you see, none of the DBEs has been loaded. So the debug PRG is the right spot if it requires your application either to not load a database engine, or you can load the Postgres database engine or ODBC database engine, or whatever you need for running your tool or your application. So this is the right spot. Okay, so what have we learned within my session? So there are init procedures. Those init procedures will be run before the first line of your main procedure has been called. There are 3 implicit init procedures which will be run from the runtime. You do not have to call it. They will be run implicitly. The first one is errorsys. The second one is appsys. And the third one is debug. Those 3 init procedures will be run automatically prior the procedure main. If you want, for example, to have an own init procedure which logs that you started an application, so this will be run after those 3 implicit init procedures, but before the main init procedure, of course. Okay, that's what I wanted to show in my show. Stay tuned, because the next video which I will make for you is I want to influence appsys, that it acts like, you know it from Clipper, your text mode application under XP or Windows 7, I think. You could press Alt return, and the application switched to a full screen. So AppSys is the right spot to implement such a behavior because I can implement it with Xbase++. So stay tuned, watch my next video. Bye bye so far.